everybody. Welcome to Good News York. I'm your host, Matt Major, founder of Growth Mode Technologies, joined by my teal-shirted friend, Mike. I don't know, what
this
seafoam? I don't know, what color is that?
No, yeah, I think you're right. It's like a mint, maybe a seafoam.
You can tell I'm an adult because I know colors other than green at this point.
I am not
I almost feel like a failure.
the founder of Growth Mode, by the way. You are.
True.
I'm not.
I am. You're right.
Matt, this is exciting because this is the first time we're doing like a new official thing. You wanna...
It's Tuesday Newsday.
Dun, 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 dun. We don't have a thing yet.
Yeah,
but we will.
we
We'll
will.
do like a Danny
Insert
said it.
jingle here.
Oh yeah, shout out to our producer Danny Tripodi.
What up?
He did say that he was going to. We need like a dun 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 dun.
Oh, we're gonna put together
dun, dun, you know,
some cool stuff.
breaking news.
Now, here's the thing. If you only watch our clips
Right.
on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all those, they're
Space. Yeah.
great. We take the great bits, we boil it down to 30, 90 seconds of something interesting as you're scrolling. But the cool things that we do, like these intros and these like traditional kind of show things, you're only going to get that if you check out the entire podcast.
Which is streaming now. You can subscribe on
Everywhere.
Yeah. Literally.
Everywhere.
I mean, anywhere there's a podcast. What is it? iHeart, Spotify.
Literally anywhere you get a podcast. But yeah,
Podcast.com.
Apple Podcasts. It used to be iTunes. Now it's Apple Podcasts.
There you go.
All the other random directories, little podcast apps. If you've got it,
Man, we are cool.
look for Good News York and you will find it, including on YouTube. YouTube now has a dedicated podcast feed.
Yes.
And it really is just our videos, but it's the full episodes in a playlist. Changes every day as we add new episodes. So if you subscribe, you'll always get the latest one. And if you, subscribe on the traditional audio podcast platforms, the Apple, the Spotify, you probably already know that you can do that. And then you can listen to us on the car in your drives or torture your children on family
Working
trips with
out.
us. It's a good thing.
The whole thing.
And not that I hadn't really planned to talk about this, but since we're on that topic, I do want to say, fellas, this is episode, what did we say it was? 26. 90+% of podcasts do not make it to episode 20.
Fuck yes. So we're in the
We are
10%.
We are
Or is it
we're
the other way around?
less. We are in the ultra minority. Now the next level is 90+% don't make it to episode 100.
Oof.
So I do want to give a shout out to another local podcast, Living Local 315. They've been around a long time. I don't know them personally, but we've been seeing them around. And I noticed that they just hit their 200th episode.
No kidding. That's amazing.
It is. And
them.
hat tip to them. I love seeing people make content,
Absolutely.
especially here in New York. It's the whole reason we're here is to really show off what's spectacular about it.
And
So many great things.
one thing I love too that made me want to be part of this even more is that you said from the jump, you were like, and by the way, this isn't just about central New York. This is about the Adirondacks. This is about the Mohawk Valley. This is about Western New York, Southern Tier, New York City.
100%.
And to me, that is such an important part of this because I feel like it's New York City and then the rest of the state. It's like you hear news all about New York metro area or, this imaginary place upstate where there's only like 10 people. That's what they think at least. And I love that we are just including everybody.
I like expanding the definition of local by just a little bit, right? A lot of people think local, they think your hometown, maybe,
Sure.
maybe your county, your kind of region. And I get that. That makes a lot of sense. That's where we all spend the most of our time. It's what we talk about the most.
Okay.
But our state family, when you look at the grand scheme of things of the world, even just to expand to New York State, it's still such a tiny corner of the world. And for us to really embrace all of it
Yeah.
is something I'd
need
love
to
us
do that. Which, by the way, let's
our resources.
let's non-politically virtual gerrymander right now. I want to ask you. This is not political.
Okay.
Because I'm very curious to what I trust you more than anybody on this.
That's
When you hear
Sorry.
upstate New York,
yeah. Oh,
give me
we're going into
give me it. Give me the.
We're going into the what is upstate?
Yeah, come on.
This is the most
Because if
controversial
you-
topic in the entire Empire
It
State.
shouldn't be though.
I agree with you. So my stance, upstate is everything north of Poughkeepsie.
I love it.
It's that simple.
And you're including like Buffalo, like West.
Everything north. Yep.
Everything north of
Poughkeepsie and South New York City, Long Island, whatever, downstate. Everything above it upstate.
I'm going to tell you something. That actually checks out, and I'll tell you why. Because when I lived in the Mohawk Valley before I moved away to Ithaca, shout out Ithaca, love you, I would take the Metro North into the city and back. The absolute first or last, depending on which way you're coming, stop is the Poughkeepsie train station.
Yeah.
That's the start of the Metro.
That's it.
So that actually checks out, bud.
Poughkeepsie is like ridicule you. Is like the checkpoint. I feel like.
Yeah.
Into the city or not.
You want to hear a funny story about Poughkeepsie real quick?
Sure.
My band played at the Chance Theater, which is actually was a really popular venue for a long time back in the day.
Describe how you get there, because I want to know if this is a place that I've been
How I
to.
get to the Chance Theater? You mean like literally like directions?
Was it like down like a cobblestone road? For some reason, I remember something like that. Like it was almost like this isn't a road we were driving on.
No, it was like a main street.
Okay.
Of sorts. There's other local.
But it's a theater.
Yeah, it's a theater
With a balcony.
with a balcony. Yep.
It's got to be the same place.
I mean,
I saw GWAR there.
dude, that's what this story's about. If we were there at the same
we were at the same GWAR
time,
show?
I'm going to shit my pants. This is real, by the way.
Wait, what? When? No, hold on. When?
I don't know.
Wait, you started out with your band. Did you open for them or some shit?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, wow. My head's about to explode.
This is going in a whole different direction.
This is crazy. I swear to God, this is not staged.
Yeah, what?
I am being completely genuine. So the story is, we got booked for this Battle of the Bands, and we're at the Chance Theater. Here's the funny part. We get there, we realize we're not playing the Chance. I got excited. I thought we were.
Oh.
We're playing. There's like an area up at the top of the theater where it's a small room where they have smaller bands play.
Interesting.
So we're technically in the same doors.
All right.
You know what I mean? Whatever. So before we go on, as I always do, I like to poke around, and I went into the Chance Theater, and I was like, this is so fucking cool. Like, this is a nice venue.
Yeah.
In a not so nice area. I mean, there's some tough parts of Poughkeepsie. And so then we walked downstairs and we wanted to go into the bar for a drink, and the door was locked. And I look in, it was a glass door, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, what is going on? There was a music video being shot, and it was GWAR. GWAR was in full costume. There were like cinema cameras moving around, chicks dressed up. I think they were supposed to be strippers. And the door was locked because they were shooting a music video. Come to find out, GWAR was playing at the Chance that night. Tell me you were fucking there.
I had to. When was this?
I don't know. I guess it would have to be 2011, 10, 12,
That would have been
13. I don't know. If I knew this was going to go this way, I would have done the work beforehand.
So, okay, now that I think about it. So here's the only reason I know when it was.
I mean, they probably played there more than once.
This was right before Malachi was born for me.
Okay.
So that would check 2001.
Oh, no. That's way too early.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't the same night.
So it wasn't the same, but it had to have been the same place.
Man, I got excited.
Because
this is the best time.
The only time I've ever seen a show in Poughkeepsie was to see GWAR.
You blew my head open because, first of all, I just go, you want to hear a funny story? And then suddenly I talk about the Chance.
Is that the only band they book?
Maybe that's it. Maybe.
How is it the only way?
Wait a minute. Wouldn't that be so GWAR if they had a residency, but the residency was in Poughkeepsie, New York, instead of like Vegas?
It's true.
Well, either way, the story was, it was just amazing that I got to like accidentally almost walk into a GWAR music video.
When I was there, they brought a John Benet Ramsey doll on stage. And
that is awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you say the rest or maybe not?
It was pretty gross. Yeah,
Yeah. One of your favorite movies, Empire Records. There's a very famous part with GWAR in it.
Hey, Mark, you love GWAR. Why don't you join the band?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. It's one of the reasons I like GWAR, honestly.
And one of the reasons you eat pop brownies.
They put on a hell of a show, though.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it's the Kiss effect, right? It's like the music. With all due respect, the music is secondary to the show itself. Right?
Yes, but
not the music's bad.
Here's the thing: it's the Kiss effect in terms of like the outfit. Because GWAR, if you've ever seen GWAR, they're this like demon metal band in full demon costumes,
and
right?
They do it.
And these characters and all this stuff. But they are the wildest fucking band ever, and they get crazy with the crowd. And here's where it got really wild. is they have, now I heard about this before we went, they have blood cannons they go, right? So the difference is they shoot like fake liquid blood into the crowd.
Don't they take penises? And
they had everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting to is it's literally any liquid you can or probably shouldn't imagine. They have a fake like cannon that they shoot into the crowd. So it's all different colors. And when you leave a GWAR show, if you were where we were towards on the floor where you're getting hit by all this shit, you come out tie-dye. Literally, like,
because of all the
get covered in every different color.
But I would assume if you're a true GWAR fan, I would assume you want that. You don't leave going, oh man, this is my favorite show. Like you get to say like, I got squirted.
It was one of those deals where it was almost like what's his name?
Gallagher.
That's
what I was just going to ask.
Where the balcony they had plastic that they could hold up if they didn't want to get sprayed up in the higher level.
That was my next question. Is the front couple rows like Gallagher show?
Well, it was like a pit, so you had the floor and you had people moshing or just standing or whatever and just getting covered in GWAR juice.
Sidebar along these lines.
Well,
have you went to school with the boys from Showtime?
Yeah.
Very good friends of both of ours. I was in the band. Love them. Did you ever hear about their experience with Gallagher? It is wild.
No.
I'm not going to tell it. We'll have to have them on.
Is this when Gallagher lived in Ilion?
Correct. He came. I forget why.
Dude, he came, I'm pretty sure he did like a Bill Keeler episode.
He did a Bill Keeler episode.
And he didn't leave town for 2 months.
That's correct. That's part of this story.
This is like a real thing.
No, I know. So he does a show, like you said. I believe it was just like a Fat Cat.
Local radio show.
And he comes on the local radio, Bill Keeler. And I believe, and I don't want to tell the story because I don't know all the details, but the boys from Showtime, I think, were on that same episode, kind of hit it off with Gallagher.
Yeah.
Gallagher was like, hey, when do you guys rehearse? And they're like, we rehearse Tuesday nights at at a place in Ilion, New York. I don't want to say it. And he's like, can I stop by? I've got some lyrics I write lyrics. And they're like, okay.
Sure.
And Gallagher showed up to their rehearsal. He stuck around for days. And his lyrics were god awful.
Couch surfed. He stayed in local people's homes.
Look it up. They did a story on it. I don't know if it's Syracuse.com or whatever. But anyway, long story short, and we'll have to have these guys on to tell because it's amazing. He stuck around for like 2 weeks and kept showing up to their rehearsals and got mad at them when they wouldn't accommodate him to to play his songs. It's wild, dude. It's wilder than put a pin in that one because we got to come back to that. We haven't even got to the news.
We haven't even, not even begun.
I don't even want to do the news. Dude,
what?
Who would have thought when we said let's go on that we'd be talking about GWAR and Gallagher?
Let's go. This is why podcasts are awesome, and you should subscribe to Good News York.
You should just subscribe to us. All right, you want to hear some news?
Please.
Let me tell you some news.
Some actual current news, even. Not from 20 years ago.
The first thing I want to talk about.
All right.
This is exciting.
All right.
We keep bringing
He's got paperwork.
Oh, yeah, it's the news.
It's serious when he's got paperwork.
Well, I figured.
Yeah, he's like a real anchor.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm no Bill Warden.
No.
A little shout out if you're local. Well, with the news, I got to have it. So this is, we keep talking about this Micron thing, and it's a huge deal. They're saying it's probably the biggest thing since the Erie Canal, and that's not a joke. It's going to be incredible for the economy here. But that's not all, because the Greek yogurt giant Chobani is planning to build a $1.2 billion production facility that would bring more than 1,000 jobs to Rome's Griffiths Business and Technology Park.
To Rome.
Yeah, and the project is in the former Air Force Base 50 miles east of here in Syracuse, New York. Did you know... Or actually, I'm sorry. It's going to cement New York as the #1 yogurt producer after that, which I think is...
if you're going to be good for something, it might as well be yogurt.
It might as well be yogurt.
Here's the thing. That base, as you know, when we were kids, they closed it as an official Air Force base.
I know.
And, lots of jobs went away and things like that. In the recent years, though, they've been working hard at bringing all kinds of things. And there's a number of really incredible high-tech companies of all sorts now being based at the former base. And there's a lot of the facilities that are originally there from the Air Force that are available and able to be, kind of remodeled and repurposed. So it's exciting to see that.
It really is.
Chobani is a company that's been in New York for a little while here. They've had a great presence, I believe, closer to you, right?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that.
Southern Tier?
Right here, it says, the governor said, Chobani has been a major employer in the Mohawk Valley for decades, and this investment is going to bring more than 1,000 jobs. Here's another thing that I found amazing, is that once the new plant reaches full capacity, the company is going to purchase an estimated 6 billion pounds of milk a year, creating additional economic opportunity. Did you know that dairy is the largest single segment of the state's $8 billion agricultural industry?
You know, the number
Nearly
of times
3,000
that I've
dairy
been
farms.
to the dairy barn at the state fair, you think I would know that.
No.
Think I would know that. But that's, Chobani is a company that is also very well known for treating people well. They're very popular with their employees and
Threw it too soon.
things of all that nature. So it's pretty awesome to see them expand, especially in Rome. Shout out to Oneida County, all along the thruway. And as we talk about these things, all along the thruway, we are hearing these announcements. That's not even the only one. I have another one. I don't think I even gave you this.
Wait, before you do that, I got to ask you one quick question.
Oh, shit, okay.
Do you know the difference between Greek yogurt and regular yogurt?
I assumed one was...
I was going to ask you, and then at the last second of the article, I saw one of the last lines says, Greek yogurt is strained of excess whey, giving it a thicker texture than regular yogurt. I guess I didn't need to read that. It's kind of... It's
All
thick.
right.
It's thick.
I didn't know what the difference.
It's
I know
thick,
it's all
like
the rage.
GWAR is
People
like-
love it.
All right, go ahead. What do you got? I didn't know
And
you had news.
that's why I feel like that's become all the rage compared to what was kind of traditional yogurt. That we used to,
God.
right? It's
It's a whole new world. My wife is...
They figure out a better way
ridiculous
to do it.
with it.
Those Greeks. Our man Ryan McMahon,
Yes.
to date the only politician who we have embarrassed at a ballpark,
That's correct.
shared the news yesterday that here in our own Onondaga County, United Auto Supply is expanding their operation out in Geddes. $19 million they are going to put into their existing operation and create 65 new jobs. They currently have 433 people on site. Every day in New York State, we are getting these reports of new, mostly manufacturing operations. Today's situation in both cases, expanding. Not even new businesses, established New York businesses continuing to grow and expand here in New York State. And it's a story that, unfortunately, I think you're going to get sick of hearing as we're doing the news here because there is so much of it.
It's so, when you told me we were going to start Good News York and it's going to be the positive things happening in New York State, my first thought, and I'm sure it was yours, was, yeah, good luck. Where are we going to find all this shit? Because we're buried in negative news all the time. Dude, when we just started actually including news into Good News York, this Tuesday Newsday, and I'm combing through, dude, there's a lot of good shit happening.
Great.
A lot. And we can all joke about, oh, yeah, upstate New York is... Dude, it's not really something you can joke about anymore. This Micron thing, the Chobani thing. How about this one? Ground Round is coming back, boy. Now,
hold on. Before we get too excited.
You go.
Before we get too excited.
Up and let you go.
It hasn't been announced that the new Ground Round is opening in New York State yet. But there is a couple in Massachusetts that is bringing it back. They've cranked open their first location.
I almost did fake news.
And no, their goal is to expand. But right now, the first location is open in Massachusetts. If you want to take a road, we might actually have to take a road trip
Good news, Matt.
to go to the Ground Round. But
have they broke ground round?
here's the thing. They're bringing back all the classics of Ground Round, including
Playing all the hits.
Pay What You Weigh. You remember Pay What You Weigh?
No way, dude. That is wild to do in 2025.
It was, I remember when I was a little kid, you used to go there on the certain night a week or something, and as the kid, you stand on the scale and pay what you weigh. Now, I was a fat kid, so it was probably a better deal for my mom to pay market price, but...
That's fantastic.
It was a great
I
promotion.
was a fat kid. Well, listen.
It's probably, I got to say, it's as you mentioned, these old restaurants and things like that used to be around are gone. People miss. Ground Round is the top of everyone's list. And I think Pondo is the next, it depends on if you want table service or buffet. That's buffet. Where, which one comes first. I miss Ponderosa. Ponderosa and Herkimer, bro.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. That's where I lived.
Yeah.
That was... You got to remember, this is, mid-'90s, okay? The thought of an all-you-can-eat buffet, what? And I don't know what it is.
Chicken wings on it.
I experienced this the other day, Easter Sunday. My wife's family, we have a tradition. You can actually go to the Cornell Dining Hall. It sounds funny, but it's open to the public all the time. But we go on, and you got to remember, the Statler Hotel is the hotel at Cornell where the Statlers, the hotel students, they have a hotel management program. that's where they train. So it is 5-star quality food. Well, guess what the dining hall gets? It's the same student.
Wow.
So you're getting 5-star, and it's like $20 a head. And it was all you can eat. And I said Sunday, this reminds me of Ponderosa when I was a kid. The excitement of just going in there and going, I could get Asian cuisine. I could get pizza.
Dude.
I could get chicken tenders. The pudding.
You go there all the time with your family, but I'll tell you, the real heyday for me was when we were teenagers and when we were, in our cars and figuring out our own meal. Had to be like, I don't know, 40% of where we went to eat was Pondo. And the best part about Ponderosa was they had that buffet, right? And they always had that deal where for like 25 cents more, they'll give you a full steak and a baked potato.
Yeah, right.
And you look at it, you'd be like, how could I not buy that 79-cent steak,
Easy up.
Like I have to. And it's brilliant because what happens is you eat that steak and then you don't eat anything on the buffet. So they had it all figured out.
They really did.
But
they really did. There were no ground round, but I'll tell you.
Those wings, those breaded chicken
naked wings.
Remember those?
They're the only naked wings I've ever liked. And for those of you maybe tuning in that aren't native New Yorkers, especially Buffalo area, naked wings mean no sauce.
Yeah.
I feel like I do have to explain that. I mean, I don't.
You used to be able to get them in takeout. My dad used to order them for parties. We'd get bulk Pondo wings.
But naked wings don't taste good to me. But I'll tell you what.
I agree with you. Well, they had
the Ponderosa
they had
ones did. They
weren't just plain. You know what I mean?
They were like mini drumsticks.
They were.
They were so good. They were light tan.
About Pondo.
Want some more good news?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love that.
Our friends at FX Matt Brewery, Saranac Brewery, have secured 7th place among the top 10 craft breweries and 17th in the top 20 overall breweries across the nation. And these results were featured in the Brewers Association Annual U.S. Craft Brewing Industry Report. And I say that. I always cite it because every time we do this, I talk about I don't put faith in these polls.
Yeah, who came up with it?
It could be anybody. We could do a poll today. And
yeah, but if this is an association of brewers,
that's what I'm saying.
That's legit. That's
and legit. I have nothing bad to say about Saranac Brewery except for one thing. Don't get nervous. Why would you get rid of Saranac Thursdays? That was everything. That was everything for this area.
I completely agree.
Do you actually know? Is it a budget thing? Is it a? I'm not attacking the brewery. I'm expressing how sad I am.
I don't want to get sentimental, but our man Joe Boogie, who was the king of Utica, he was the man that got the party started.
Yeah. Disruption Network. Did I say
he
that?
passed away, and they canceled Saranac Thursdays afterwards. I don't know if they're related, but to me, I don't know.
In other words,
I don't know that you could have that event without Joe around.
If Joe Boogie's gonna die,
if Joe was here,
it's going down.
We might still have Saranac. Now, to be fair, they will tell you that they have changed it a bit. They do not have Saranac Thursdays, but they now have a beer garden where they have events and they have bands and things in the summer. It's not the same.
No, of course
it's not the same.
But you know that.
And for those that don't know, Saranac Thursdays was a summer concert series that they had at the brewery in Utica, and they took this back like shipping dock area and literally turned it into a concert venue. It was perfect.
It looked like, you remember
that extra space.
Willy
in the back
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Yep. It looked like when in the part of the movie where he comes out and he fake collapses and kind of that area within the fence of the factory. That's kind of what it always.
Oh yeah. The old brew house and everything's been there forever.
Exactly. And the big smokestack.
Super cool event.
But as society's changed a bit, right? I mean, people aren't drinking like we used to. Now, imagine that back in the day when everybody was partying hard. It was wild.
On a good night, if the weather was good, they would have between 3,000 and 5,000 people there
easily
on a Thursday night after work,
and it was awesome.
Yeah, because it started there. It started there about 5 o'clock, and I know at some point we'll find these old. My podcast career started at Saranac Thursdays with Phil Farda and I.
That's a great story.
At the You Should Be Here podcast.
Okay.
And that was the name of the show, and the idea was we were going to go to a bunch of different events and live broadcast. It ended up being mostly just Saranac and
because
a couple other
that's where you should have been
at Saranac Thursday. But we were there every week and did a great live podcast. It was a super cool thing. And the way it worked is, it started at like 5. They'd have the music at the brewery and stuff like that, and they'd go to like 8 or so. And that was over, but then you'd go to Varick Street, which was the entertainment area. It's right there, and all the local bars there would have live bands, and it was a great all.
Say hi to Rainbow, get a picture with them.
Yeah, good old Rainbow. Rainbow moved to New York City. Maybe that's the other half of
Things are bad when Rainbow is moving out. I thought we were just talking about all the good things. He is a staple,
dude. He moved to New York City, and then the next day he was in somebody's music video. Did you see that shit?
No.
I don't remember who it was.
But I'm not surprised.
Literally, they had the big announcement he's in the city, and the next thing you know, somebody's video comes out, and they go, "That's Rainbow," in the video.
Speaking of bands,
We'll interview him sometime.
I got very, very exciting news.
What else you got?
Well, a red hot band with a famous sounding name to rock the New York State Fair. The Red Hot Chili Pipers will perform at the New York State Chevy Court Stage on Wednesday, August 27th at 6 p.m. Don't be fooled.
That took a hard left turn.
I know. That's how I felt when I was reading it. Don't be fooled by the famous name. It's not the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Some fans mistakenly assumed it would be the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but in fact, it is a bagpipe group. So,
imagine thinking you're going to show up for Flea and you get a bagpiper.
You get
it's so much better. It was like it's like hitting the lottery. Honestly,
it really is. But here's
like
the
I
thing.
showed up to see a shitty band and I got to see actual talent.
Here's the whoa!
What a mistake!
Shots fired. Listen, California.
Listen, there's only so many songs you can sing about California,
I know.
and the Chili Peppers surpassed that amount 18 albums ago.
You know, the Under the Bridge video was the first video that ever made me want pecs. Because remember, he runs in slow motion, and his pecs are perfect and they're bouncing. I was like, I want those muscles. The reason I'm telling you about that, I wouldn't do a whole thing just to say the name, is because when I read it, up until I printed it out,
You thought it was
I
the
thought
Chili
it was the
Peppers.
Chili Peppers,
Yep.
which leads me to
This is a public service announcement.
we're
Don't
going
be
to
fooled.
revisit this story because I am telling you in August, people are going to show up thinking it's the Chili Peppers. I know this because look what we go through with misinformation and disinformation and people
Here's the
reading
thing.
headlines without actually reading the article. There's going to be a huge sector of pissed off.
Here's the thing, hot take.
Red hot take.
If you name yourself the Red Hot Chili Pipers, you invite said confusion and should be on the hook for it.
I think you do. You know what you're doing. You
Now,
know what you're doing.
Here's the thing. If you're a bagpipe band that covers Chili Pepper songs,
Fuck. Is that what they are? I didn't even read. See? Misinformation.
then it's a valid name.
Well,
But if they just went with some pun that actually, and they don't do anything else to do with the Chili Peppers, the jury's out. Somebody's going to have to listen to this band and tell us what the hell they actually do.
we're going to have to Google this.
What is this, the State Fair?
It's gonna be at the State Fair
we're
free.
gonna have to go there.
for us. The Chili Pipers. I just want it. I want it on record. The whole reason I read this, we're gonna revisit this because I promise you, there's gonna be a lot.
We need to write this down and be there. We need to just capture that footage of the people showing up going, Chili Peppers, Chili
And then they
Peppers."
come out.
And they come out with the horns, and people are like, what the fuck?
What if
this
we
didn't sign up for
How
corn?
about we don't look it up? Let's just go and literally
We just go to the fair every day?
go there and no. I'm saying
Fuck the schedule. We'll
No,
just
no,
wait
fuck the
around
schedule.
at Chevy Court.
we'll just
for
stand
weeks.
around till the fucking Chili Pipers show up. No, I'm saying
We're the first in line, dude.
yeah, we're here first.
You best seat.
No, I'm saying let's go. Let's not look them up and find out if they do Chili Pepper songs. Let's
Oh.
just go and get a blind reaction.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of, here's a picture of them.
There's lots of other great artists that you probably have heard of booked at the fair as well,
I'm
right?
not reading it. It's actually telling me. Actually, I will tell you.
Spoiler alert.
Here's some of the lineup for the New
New York State Fair?
Yeah. Cheap Trick is coming. Steve Miller Band. Kids Bop. Huh?
Hold on. Slow down.
What?
Yeah, we got 2 out of 3 are great. Kids Bop, though?
Look, you
I
gotta
thought
have
Kids
something for
Bop
the
was like, who performs
Kids.
Bop?
kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like you ever hear them?
I thought it was
they
adults
sing
singing
this-
clean versions of the pop song.
Close. It's kids singing clean versions of this.
Oh, that's
But
even
it's like a
worse.
group. It's a chorus of kids just going like, I don't know, give me a song.
So they're a child cover band?
Kind of. Yeah, it's for the kids,
Is that
man.
legal?
I don't know.
Are there labor laws in this state?
OAR
Sorry, keep going.
is coming.
All right.
And in a hard turn of events, Busta Rhymes will be there.
Yes!
Herman's Hermits,
No way.
Sister Hazel,
Hold on. We're going to go from Busta to Herman's Hermits?
back to back, baby. Not the same day. It's 24th, 26th.
What if they like do a duet? Imagine
That would
Busta
be-
remixing a Hermits Hermits
Ooh-ha,
song.
I got you all in check.
How many Herman's Hermits are left?
I don't know, but they're hermits.
Aren't they
Can't find them.
like what's their hit?
Oh,
Come on.
I don't know. And
Danny,
I
what is
pride
it?
myself on being a music whiz, and I cannot think of one Herman's Hermit song.
We know it. We got to know it.
while he's looking that up, Sister Hazel, Red Hot Chili Peppers,
I love Sister Hazel.
Maddie and Tay, Yacht Rock Review, Blippi, my son will be excited, and Shaggy is closing it out.
Shaggy!
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
It wasn't me. He's a...
Shaggy is the foremost expert on...
that was actually pretty good.
I learned more about cheating from Shaggy than really anyone else on Earth.
Yeah, well, listen. All right, and in a while you are looking that up, we are going to play a small game, okay? Now, this is risky.
Hold on.
We're going to hold for edit.
Still don't know who Herman's Hermits is?
I'm into something good.
Okay.
Oh, I'm into something good.
What are they going to play for the rest of the show?
They're just going to play that over and over, and then the Chili Pipers come out.
And then
No milk today?
No milk today.
lost me on that one.
Yeah, I don't.
What if Herman's
What
Hermits
is there a year, just out of curiosity?
1966.
Okay, that's when I was thinking.
Yeah, great year. And then the Chili Pipers come out with Herman's Hermits, and to cap it off, GWAR comes out and squirts fake penises all over the crowd. Now, that's a show I would go to.
Charge extra. That's got to be at the amp.
There's only one of them still alive.
Oh. Is it
There's
Herman?
only one hermit.
I think
Whitwam?
He's an Indian?
Be respectful.
We might have to cut that.
There's 5 of them,
Might have to cut that.
and they're all dead except for Barry Whitwam.
Barry Whitwam.
But he's
Shout out.
still touring, huh?
He's going. They have to.
He's got it.
You have no. There's no much more mailbox money.
Social Security
on
ain't
music.
fucking
All right. Let me. I could stay here forever, but we gotta close. I'm gonna hold for edit because I feel like this is controversial. But we're gonna play a game. Guess the pedophile. I read. Listen, it's a heavy article, so I thought we can't read bad news, so I've got to lighten it up. I turned it into a game.
I just want to put in an editor's note. I did not approve this.
No, in
I
fact,
said, I don't know if this
you
is
hard
good news,
disprove.
York quality.
Danny is. Thank God for Danny,
But-
because he keeps me in line.
Hey, here we are.
Listen, I knew you didn't like it.
This
But
could
I'm
go
gonna
one
go
of two ways.
So this is not a joke. Ironically, the band The New Pornographers drummer was arrested on child pornography charges last week. Now, why would I read that on Good News York? Because I want to play a game out of this band lineup, and we'll have to put it up on the screen. And
I mean, really, locking up perverts is good news.
yeah, it's a great news.
Yeah.
Fuck them. But I just found it funny when I saw the picture. I think you can pick out who.
Oh, Jesus.
So here's the band. Which one? Here, I'll hold it towards you. I guess we'll put it up on the
All right,
screen.
here, yeah. We'll
Yeah, you take it.
Let me see.
But let me see. Which one do you
Oh,
think?
second guy.
Yeah. So yeah, Danny. I had it
I
up
didn't
on
even look at the rest.
Danny walked up. He goes, second guy. Abel came in, one of our other employees. He walked in. I go, which one? He goes, oh, definitely guy with the comb over.
Listen, I'm not into any sort of profiling whatsoever.
Oh, dude. I mean,
But when
you're
a
allowed.
dude walks around with a pervert stash,
I mean,
like,
the only thing that made this less
check his hard drive. You know, that's all I'm saying.
I know. The only thing that made this less fun is there's 2 chicks in the band, and chicks aren't really known as into that kind.
I didn't even get that far. I literally second
good.
person
So I
and
was
bang.
Like,
That's
now it's 1 out of 3.
automatic winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll put.
And if
that
it
picture-
wasn't him, he would also be guilty, and they just didn't catch him.
And here's the thing: if we decide to keep this in, which I hope we do, I don't really feel bad about showing his face. He's a piece of shit. So who cares? All right, we're gonna.
He was
wrap
in
it
a
up.
band named Pornographers.
The New Pornographers, Matt.
Talk about being on the
Lastly, this is more of a question than news. We kind of missed this one because we didn't have the news segment yet.
Uh-oh.
But Carmelo Anthony was in town to launch his new cannabis brand, which is Stay Me 70.
Yeah, he's moving right in.
And with our friends at Flintstone, who we love, Flintstone
Yeah.
Cannabis Company, absolutely amazing. Check them out. Greatest dispensary I've ever been to, and I've been to Colorado. It's the one in Syracuse is phenomenal. 3 levels. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that. Did you attend that at all?
No.
Or know anybody who did?
No.
Interesting.
Actually, I think I probably do know some folks, but I haven't had conversations with them about it. Yeah.
We need to get his product and try it on the show.
So there's a lot of these celebrities that have their own strain, their own line of cannabis products. Yep. What do you think? How do you think that does for them? Like,
What do you mean?
how much money does that make them? You know what I mean? Because I haven't necessarily looked, but I've seen in other places they have, like Mike Tyson has his own that you can find in
Obviously
every
Snoop,
dispensary
Seth Rogen.
anywhere. But like the prices of those are pretty much in line with everybody else. So it's not a premium price.
I think
So
it's
how much are these celebrities actually making on, you get these brand deals of all kinds of products. I'm just interested, how does that work out for them?
we'll have to ask them. It's
gotta be
these guys on the show. We got to get
Wild,
Carmelo.
obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's more of like expanding your portfolio, right? Like I think
Sure.
a lot of these guys are already
Makes sense.
established celebrities in whatever industry they're in, right? So it's kind of like we were talking about earlier off the air. I was talking to one of our clients about like people think early retirement is like, all right, now I just sit here on my money that I have, and it's like, no, you
Go out and
invest
do other
it.
things,
Yeah,
yeah.
you do it, and I just think. It's a smart investment
Sure.
because I've always said I'm not ever disclaimer. I'm not giving goddamn investment advice. I'm not qualified for that, but I am good at it. I do have investments and I pride myself on it. And I feel like one of the first rules I was taught was invest in what people need. Medicine, food, whatever. If you can. And look, it's new, so you're getting it on the ground floor of things. And who the hell doesn't like cannabis?
So the other side to that too is, like anything else, it is sort of a marketing play, right? Just like anything
100%.
else. So, I'm a celebrity, I endorse this, and that makes it sell more. In the cannabis area, I could see that being an extra advantage. And the reason for that is if you go to these legal shops, you will notice that you can almost never buy the same thing twice.
Really?
It's, it's what the crop came in and they had a batch of this particular kind and it's available for you. And they have these brands, and these same brands will often have, but the exact same thing, very rare. So if you have a celebrity or you're familiar with, you can walk into this store every time and go, give me Mellows, whatever.
You know what?
And you're buying his stuff without, you go, oh, we're out of that particular one or whatever. You know what I mean? It becomes a very easy, just like everything, becomes a name brand.
Absolutely. And you just got me thinking. That's also brilliant on his part because, first of all, you're going to sell it based on your name.
Yeah.
Where is Carmelo a king?
Well,
In Syracuse, New York.
That's why I launched it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, why wouldn't I? Sell
spoiler
a king?
alert: we're going to see a lot more of him now with his kid going to school here, and he's.
I did not know that.
It's my understanding that he's
anchoring.
might be buying a home to stick around on a regular basis in town. So
where does he live now?
That's
is he still out in Denver when he was with the Nuggets, or is he?
It's a little gossip, but just
I'll never forget when he went to the Knicks.
good chance
and
we'll see him
explode.
more than we ever did before,
That would be wonderful.
since he was going to school anyway.
When being a Knicks fan and obviously an Orange fan, born in Syracuse, when he went to the Knicks, that was fucking mind blowing. For Cuse Knicks fans. I mean, it was like it couldn't get any better than that.
Hey man, I mean, he's got buildings around town named after him. How incredible is that?
It's amazing.
To me, I'd never leave that town. You know
No.
what I mean? Like, there's a place in this state that's like they worship me and they put my name on things. I live in another state,
Dude.
That's how cool I am.
I don't really like it here.
I'm so cool that I don't even have to live in the town they worship me in. Truth is, they probably worship
Let
me
me ask
everywhere.
you a question.
Incredible.
On the
place.
spot.
Yeah.
Someone walks in right now,
Yeah.
okay, who has this kind of power and says, we're going to put a building in Syracuse for you, Matt. The Matt Mazer building. What is it? What industry? It could be anything. It could be a store. It could be a school. It could be a museum. It could be a brothel. It could be a cabbage farm.
Yeah.
All that. I don't know. Do you grow cabbage on a farm?
So I'm trying. This is a very interesting question.
I know. It's you know what? Maybe we'll just put a pin in it.
The reason it's interesting for me is
we can
this is
edit.
the type of shit I think about literally daily.
I love that.
So the answer is, in a perfect world,
where we are.
Now you got me here. In a perfect world where I have unlimited resources, it is a massive building. Like it is like the State Tower building or the AXA Towers building. Something
You want
down
something that's seen.
massive.
Okay.
I want massive. I don't necessarily care about
You want to be
seating.
part of the skyline.
I want as much space in a property as possible
Just for
for a
profit?
few different things.
Okay.
To pay for it, right? To have, aside from what I need, I want to rent out some space to other businesses, other people to cover the expenses of said building, right? But also, I'm insane. Like, you guys only know a fraction of it, and I am limited by my budget. If I had a bigger budget,
Oh, God.
I would be really fucking dangerous. And I could take a place like the AXA Towers.
You'd be on an episode of Hoarders.
They're two towers of 19 stories each. So approximately, and there's a little middle piece, approximately 40 stories of buildings. If you gave that to me, I could probably fill it with different ventures, different facilities set up for different things. You know, when we're talking about studios, we've talked about, I'd have a dedicated studio for 10 different types of things.
I love you.
You know,
This is why I asked you this question.
any amount of space you give me, I will fill.
Because I knew you would answer it in an interesting way, but being the entrepreneur and just the person...
Dude, I was looking into buying Remington Arms in Ilion that is 1 million square feet.
Matt, this morning you wanted
I
to
would've
buy a
filled it.
theater in New Jersey.
It's true.
So...
It's one of the smaller things to talk
Anytime
about.
I get in the car with Matt, we could be going to the store on the corner. It ends up being a 15-minute detour if he just goes around and shows me buildings
I give
for
the
sale.
tour.
And I'm like, oh, cool, what would you put in there? He's like, I'm not sure, but I just want a big building.
So what's funny is you asked me that, and I've said this, I think, to Christine on Details in the Deal podcast, as you might want to check out.
Great.
The way I dream is sort of with commercial real estate, which is as goofy as that sounds.
Oh,
but
that's great.
whether I drive around town or I look at the commercial real estate listings, I look at especially these old buildings. I don't, you got these new warehouse, it's a box, whatever. That's not interesting to me. But a lot of these older places that have been around, they've been used for all kinds of crazy things. I love looking at those and going, what could be really cool in that space? Could it be a shop? Could it be a restaurant? Could it be a factory that makes this sort of thing? That's literally what I daydream about.
You know what?
All the time.
And I'm not trying to hop on your bandwagon here, but we had a pre-production meeting today with a client, and Danny can back me up on this. I said I have this issue when I see a vacant commercial building, I have to peek in and just imagine what could be in there.
Oh.
And but you take it to the next level.
Dude,
because
mall,
you might actually do it.
I have a detailed plan for a shopping mall. If I could get like Shopping Town or something to turn it into a facility that would do all kinds of crazy things. And
that's what this town needs, another shopping mall.
No, I'm saying to use that facility.
I know.
Actually, I would turn it into an incubator, a space designed to grow other businesses. But there's lots of incubators, but I got some unique ideas. But
and every year you throw a bash where the band Incubus plays at this place that's an incubator.
I just like that in general. Incubus is awesome.
Great band.
Yeah.
They're no Red Hot Chili Pipers.
No, well, they haven't written enough songs about California.
No, they have not.
On the bagpipe.
Real quick.
Yep.
Repeat after me.
Uh-oh.
Rise.
I'm scared.
No, just do it.
Rise.
Up.
Lights.
Now say it fast.
Rise up lights.
That's how you say razor blades with an Australian accent. Rise up lights. On that note, this has been an insane episode of Good News York. Tuesday Newsday.
Are we going to start like a dad joke bit?
I mean, isn't this one giant dad?
It really is.
Dad
It
joke
really is.
bit?
I'm going to dip out of here. But before we go.
Oh, shit. What?
Before we go.
What are you doing?
Our expert producer has some news that he's going to talk to us about a game.
Danny's coming?
It's a classic game that's got some new life.
Get up here,
He's
buddy.
going to give us some expert input on it. And I'm going to listen. So,
all right, bye. Danny Tripodi. Welcome back to Good News York. I'm Mike Brindisi. Matt left. He actually just went on tour with the Red Hot Chili Pipers. He was a deadhead, but no more. He's a pepper head. But I am joined now by a much handsomer, much more charming, our producer of Good News York, our friend, my coworker, I love him, Mr. Danny Tripodi, everybody. Whoops. That's not what I meant. Danny.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to be completely transparent. I actually did not know you were coming on.
Yeah, it was.
So this is great.
Neither did I. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just really wanted to talk about this because I think it's important.
I think it's very important.
Yeah.
And before you start, I will say, Danny is, among many other things, is also one of the what's the word I'm looking for? One of the people that are putting on a very big event. Why don't you?
You're looking for nerd.
Okay. Well, I wasn't going to say it, but Yeah, Danny is a nerd, but the good kind of nerd.
Sure.
Which actually, you know, people made fun of nerds back in the 90s, and now all those assholes are calling those nerds like, can you help fix my modem? You know, it's like, it's the ultimate redemption. But anyway,
Yeah.
First of all, tell us about what's going on is it October? In October, your event?
Huh? No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, you're not talking about?
No, I'm not here for
Fuck
this.
you. I'm not going to
Mike,
talk about that.
I know exactly what I want to say.
All right, go.
So I'm just here to say it.
All right, get in. Do it.
So as of today, Oblivion, I'm looking at you, Camera 3. Oblivion Remaster has been released. It's been announced by Bethesda. So Oblivion is getting a remaster because apparently Todd Howard got bored of selling Skyrim for the 9th time and said, you know what? Let's just do Oblivion. And here we are. It's in Unreal Engine 5 now, has modern menus, big quality of life stuff. It comes with all the things that you would expect from an Oblivion remaster, including, and this is why I'm irritated, the crown jewel of DLC. So back in 2006, Bethesda made history by being the first company to charge for DLC. Yeah.
They're the
They are
OGs
the
of the
source
DLC?
Of DLC. And they started that by charging $2.50 for horse armor. And it didn't make your horse go faster. It didn't help you in combat. It just made your horse look a little bit more shiny.
And they got shit for that, didn't they? Like,
Oh, yeah. They were dragged for it. But now
and now look at it.
we're in this
Call of
hellscape.
Duty.
Everything is asking
Red
me
Dead.
for a battle pass.
Yep.
I can log into The Sims and they're going to say, hey, we have a battle pass. Every bit in the gaming industry now is charging extra for games, and it's all because of Todd Howard and the Bethesda team charging $2.50 for that horse armor. Gamers were furious, but unfortunately, we're also to blame because we were all dumb enough to buy it back in 2006 because, hey, it was $2.50. What's the harm?
Exactly.
And here we are. Almost 20 years later, they're re-releasing Oblivion. It's available today after their announcement with this new high-res horse armor in their deluxe edition. And you know what, Mike? I will be buying it again
Yes, you will.
because history repeats itself. And Todd Howard, damn you did it again. You did it again.
That's what's the most annoying is like he got you again.
He got me again. I bought Skyrim 9 times, and you know what, Todd? I'm buying Oblivion.
You're probably like, ugh, I was young and stupid. I'll never do that again. And then here he
The
comes.
cycle continues.
He got you. You know, on a serious note, I think it is absolutely brilliant. I remember the first time I turned on Call of Duty and there was an update, and all of a sudden I had to buy a battle pass. And my initial reaction was, what the fuck? Like, they're going to squeeze more money out of me. They don't got enough.
Yeah.
And then I realized I play that game almost every day. It might be for 20 minutes, it might be for 2 hours, depending on my schedule. But I go back because of the reward system. And we are in a society now that thrives on the reward system. I mean, all social media is a dopamine reward. But
Yeah.
so, I mean, from a business standpoint, it's brilliant. But just as a fan of games, it gives you something to not only customize, you know, for different skins and things like that. You can just zen out into this world that's your own. But it also gives you a reason, like, you know, I might be bored with Call of Duty at this point. You know, I might be going, oh my God, how many times am I going to play? It's the same shit, but I get something new each time.
Yeah.
So shout out.
Keeps you hooked.
It's awesome, man. What are you leave? Like, did you not know before today that this was happening? Because when you read it, it sounded like you just found out.
Yeah, there was rumors about it being announced, but people weren't sure if it was getting released or not today, and they're like, hey, you know what? Oblivion, the remaster's here, and you can download it right now. So
And imagine
I'm gonna go home after this and download it. So.
Imagine being that wildly successful that you don't need to ramp up and tease something, that you have such a fan base that you can just announce it on a whim and immediately the world flips out.
It's a nightmare.
It is a nightmare.
It's the best and worst thing to ever
So
happen.
Danny, before we go, first of all, thank you for that wonderful monologue.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
But I would like you to plug Retro GameCon. Come on.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it.
We got Retro GameCon Spring Edition happening. That's May 17th, Saturday at the Elite Gaming Center. It's the basement of the Atrium building. That's 2 Clinton Square. And then our main show in October, that's October 10th, 11th, and 12th at the On Center. It's the big Retro Game Con 12.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to announce who's going to be part of that or not yet?
Oh, we got a slew of people, but off the top of my head, I don't want to butcher it. We got Ellen McLean, who's the voice of GLaDOS, the killer robot from Portal. She's really the person that I'm most excited to see. So I've just been saying her, but
That's fine.
yeah.
That's going to be awesome, man. If you're a gamer, a proud nerd, I say anyone who's awesome, then you need to come to this thing. We're going to be we had a meeting this morning, and we don't know what yet, but Good News York, Growth Mode Content, we're going to be there in some capacity, whether it's live episode from Retro Game Con or just shooting footage or both. But we cannot wait. So is there somewhere they can go to check out details on that?
Yep, you can check us out at retrogamecon.com or tune into our socials at retrogamecon.
All right. Anything else before we go?
No,
I just want to say to you guys, as we get closer to Retro Game Con, I think we need to educate Mike a little bit more about what happens there, especially when we get into the cosplay that is quite prevalent at the event. I think we should educate Mike on cosplay and have him dress up as different characters.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Mr.
That'd be
Cool. Maybe I know what cosplay is. Did you ever think that?
I just want to dress you up in funny outfits. buddy.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah, it's when people dress up like characters, right?
sure.
All right. I have said plenty today.
Cool, we'll cut it.
Good news, you. I'm Mike Brindisi. This is Danny Tripodi. Matt Mazer, who's actually producing right now for this segment. And we will be back tomorrow. Some exciting news coming down the pipeline for Good News York, so stick around for that. GoodNewsYork.com. Love you guys.
Oh, can I say it? Peace out.
Yes.